Well, good morning. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Welcome to Inside Cottonwood. And we're pleased to have with us today two individuals, Trevor Faust, our fitness floor supervisor for the Cottonwood Recreation Center for the City of Cottonwood, as well as Juanita Marlette, and or Marletta. And she goes by Nita, so we'll be discussing things with Nita here today. And Nita, you're a dietitian with the Verde Valley Medical Center here in the city of Cottonwood.
Right.
And so welcome today. And we're going to be going over and talking to Trevor and Nita then as it pertains to the annual Looking Good Cottonwood program, but mainly health again. I mean, we kind of hit this in January because it's a great time of the year to always hit right after the holidays. And of course, you can see right in front of me is Nita has brought a lot of good food and nutritious food. And I need to be on more of this right now because, of course, over the holidays and I'll tell you, from November 25th to about approximately January, and I'll just say since last night, I've gained 8 pounds over the holidays. And I ate a lot of pie. And then at the office, everybody brings everything in. And I usually try to sample everything that everybody brings in because they bake their stuff. And I want to tell everybody, I tried it, it was great. And then look at me, I'm gaining 8 pounds. So here I am today, and we're talking nutrition. So, but it is fun, and I'm going to be getting back into mainly, I think, the habit of, getting back into my exercise routines of walking. And then also, I was just talking a little bit with Nita here and Trevor that I've got to get back into hydration. And hydration is a big point in nutrition as well. And we forget about that. And so we're going to be talking about, again, a little bit more, I think, in the third segment here of Looking at Cottonwood, of the common vernacular that we utilize for an acronym, LGC. And so you'll hear that thrown out an awful lot. We usually have about a couple hundred people that enjoy Looking Good Cottonwood. And I say enjoy because it helps people to understand about their health, their nutrition, exercise, how it all blends together to actually give a better healthful lifestyle, and as well as I would say life experience, and then also when we look at longevity. And those are big key elements within trying to keep our health, sustaining ourselves, and then when we get environmental exposures such as the snow that we just had here over the holidays, January 1st, and it's still lingering out there, and we have to watch our step and everything else along that nature, along with our health. So I think as we look at a lot of the issues that take place in the common aspects of day-to-day intake of food, I'm going to pretty much get right into the circumstances of Looking Good Cottonwood here real quick. Cost are $15 for CRC members, that's Cottonwood Recreation Center members, $30 for non-members, and we have group registrations as well. Grand prize is $1,000 with runner-up categories of $500 and $250 for both men and women, with the greatest percentage of weight loss. And group prize is $1,000. This year will include additional health seminars and extra exercise classes. Weekly weigh-ins are a part of this program, and we also have the new comprehensive workout programs for LGC, and those are for the participants. So if you're interested in shedding those holiday pounds like I have put on, and you want to look good and feel great for your life and this coming year and your lifestyle, join us and for the Cottonwood Recreation Center annual program as we look forward to that. Nita, starting off today, we're going to be asking you some questions. Now, you're a registered dietitian, and I know that we had Pam Ing-Debrada that was with us last year, and it was very insightful. We had a lot of fun in our conversation as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your career at the Verde Valley Medical Center.
Well, I've just been at Verde Valley for a year and a half. Before that, I was a WIC director for the Yavapai County Health Department. And just because of time and full-time job and cutting back to a part-time job, I decided to come here, and I was fortunate enough to pick up a position here at Verde Valley.
So have you been interested in, I guess, diet, nutrition for quite some time then?
All my life. I've been always, you could ask my husband, my kids were always saying, "Oh, what's this, Mom?" Trying something new all the time. It was kind of my hobby to try new recipes. And I finally decided at the age of 40 that I needed to know scientifically what this was all about. So I went back to school and became a dietitian after 5 years of going back to school and changing from an art degree to a science degree.
Wow.
And then getting my my dietitian's
So you spent a lot of
credentials.
time. So 5 years.
I did, yeah.
Wow.
And I know what I'm saying. That was 40 to 28 years ago.
Well, that's amazing.
So in dietitian years, I'm kind of young, but
It's great.
But it was the need to know a little more than just, okay, why would this work? And I was also interested in all kinds of diets. Why would this work? Why would the grapefruit diet work? Why would this work? Why would Ornish's work? Why would Atkins work? And so I needed to know the science behind it.
So why does a hospital hire dietitians, nutritionists, and things like that? Why, those career path individuals? Why do they do that?
Well, we're looking at, as a clinical dietitian, we look every day at people who are at risk, at nutritional risk. Either they're underweight or extremely overweight, or there's some other problems going on. And we look at what we can do nutrition-wise to help them out, to see, are they getting enough? How can we help?
I see.
And our little report fits in with the team of doctors and pharmacists and other, other important people that were nurses, you name it.
Right, the practitioners.
Yeah, all the practitioners. Yeah.
Right. And I know that, with the Verde Valley Medical Center, one of the things that we always seem to forget, and they're a vital aspect of both our community. They have the most employees within our community. And again, health is very vital for us as individuals. But they, again, are the main supporting aspect of Looking Good Cottonwood. They provide so much money as well as support and staff that actually provide educational programs during Looking Good Cottonwood. And so we want to make sure that people understand that they're not only there to provide medical services, but also they're interested in health and your lifestyle.
Yes.
They provide incredible seminars, and they provide incredible aspects of what you can do to keep your health and sustain yourself. And that's one of the things about Verde Valley Medical Center. I've been here since 1990, and it's incredible to watch them as they have grown over the last 25 years. And so it's rather an intense aspect of who they are as a healthcare facility. So Nita, now talk to us a little bit more about as food is medicine.
Food is medicine.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to go to, finally, a whole week-long seminar on food as medicine. It's given by the Centers for Mind-Body Medicine. And there's a whole panel of professional dietitians, doctors. Dr. Dean Ornish was on the panel, Dr. Mark Hyman, Jim Gordon, he's the whole head of everything, Kathy Swift. They're all up and coming in the field of integrative medicine and functional medicine and food as medicine, and using food first to treat the ills of the body. Using food, if you're not eating right, how we've gotten in this habit of going to take a drug to fix something that maybe if we just paid a little bit more attention to our diet, we could kind of fix.
Right. And I know as I was reading, even this morning, I was reading a little bit more about, we're more of a drug-based society than we've ever been. In other words, it's like take this pill and you'll feel better. But if we would actually look back a little bit more on our nutrition and what we're intaking as fuel and consumption for our bodies, we would do a lot better. Because in the concept of chemicals that we actually are taking in with the drug, they also do certain things to our bodies. And I was looking at statin drugs, and I'm not on those, thank goodness. But I do know that statins do an awful lot for your, as it pertains to cutting down cholesterol and this and that. But the one thing that it also does is it causes other issues with your body, and you need to be informed of that. You need to read about that and what they do and what they inhibit. And the inhibitors are what we actually need as the enzymes within our bodies.
Right.
And so those are some of the things and the issues I think that you're talking about here is food is medicine.
Yeah, and the list of side effects on the drugs. You won't get you won't have to worry about eating too many carrots, except for maybe you might turn a little orange, but
Yes.
but you won't have to, worry about other things.
So nutrients are a vital part of eating as it pertains to whole foods, and I know Trevor has talked about this before also as well. And you guys, so what is that concept about? Nutrients, and how do they affect our framework as our body? And go into that a bit.
Well, our bodies are made of many cells. Like there's 37 trillion cells in our bodies. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Each little cell has a little tiny environment in it, and each little environment needs to have nutrients to make everything work right. So you can kind of think or imagine like a little factory system. These little factory guys go along saying, okay, iron, okay, calcium, okay, whatever, the little this nutrient, that nutrient, and then somebody comes up, oops. Wait a minute, we don't have this. Okay, what do we do with this cell? Well, we'll just throw this one off in the fat storage or cholesterol or you name it. It's not going to be working right.
That's right.
So we've got to have the proper nutrients to make our cells function correctly and to make the energy we need and to promote the health we need.
Right.
Our bodies were meant to be healthy, and they can be if we eat the right stuff, if we provide the right stuff.
Well, we're going to take a break here for 1 minute, and we'll be joining back here with Nita and Trevor, talking a little bit more about nutrition, and as well as Looking Good Cottonwood, and thanking the Verde Valley Medical Center once again for all that they do. But as we take this break, I just wanted to let you know again, thank you for joining us here for Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood.
At Goettels High Desert Mechanical, rather than do lots of things, we focus on doing one thing right. We serve climate-challenged people. Goettels starts with a free system evaluation to identify the best AC and heating equipment for your home or business. Professional installation, warranties, and service after the sale. If you're climate-challenged, then we're the right choice. Goettels High Desert Mechanical, the name to trust.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And joining us today, we have Juanita Marlette and also Trevor Faust. And we're going over nutrition and Looking Good Cottonwood. And we've been talking to Nita as it pertains to food as medicine. And, basically taking a look again at what we eat and how it can help us even more so, instead of, just putting, pills into our bodies a lot of times, which we seem to want to do because we're a very fast-paced and quick-paced society. Nita, we want to also talk about the stomach health, because stomach health seems to be, Trevor, he hits me about this, here and there about stomach health, because I sometimes I go, wow, man, my stomach, my guts are just really churning, and it's like stomach health, it's one of those things that you have to be, thinking about. And so without a healthy inner garden, as you were talking about, is each individual cell, your well-being is compromised. And so can you talk a little bit more about that for us here in our audience? Yes,
one of my favorite subjects, your inner garden, or should it be your inner zoo? Because we're talking about little bacterias in there, not plants, not. So I'm thinking, maybe I'd change that to inner zoo.
Inner zoo.
Yes, your
That's
inner,
good.
Yeah. So to keep our inner zoos happy, well, drugs for one thing, of course, reduces the effectiveness of it, and antibiotics particularly. Some of our processed foods that we eat, particularly sugar, the ones that have a lot of sugar in them, reduce the good bacteria, the good bugs, and promote the bad bugs. So we're going to have more indigestion. And what do? We take the purple pill. Mm-hmm. And what does that do? That reduces the hydrochloric acid, which should be abundant in there to help promote digestion, and we're constantly running after the cure and not really looking at what the cause is. And if we would eat more fruits and vegetables and high fiber foods, we would be happier all the way around, because that would feed everybody in there.
I see. And like Trevor had indicated, you wouldn't be compromising your health in that way. So I think
there's another really important thing. When your gut health is unhealthy, it affects your brain. It can lead to depression. It can lead to anxiety. It can lead to other problems in your body, like inflammation, which lead to other disease processes. There's a whole lot of there's a huge environment there that we're just beginning to look at.
I see. So eating this stuff right here in front of us, I see a cabbage, and we've got orange and lemons and carrots and apples, and we've got the romaine lettuce and all of the darker lettuce and stuff. And I mean, that stuff is really good for us. We have to remember that. We got to get back to the garden in order to promote the zoo.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Trevor, do you have anything to respond about with that? And
no, I think Nita hits it right on the head. There are so many bad things that can happen if your gut isn't healthy, and a lack of absorption too.
Definitely.
that is going to attribute to all sorts of different malfunctions, and that you're going to be unhealthy. So it's really important to pay attention to these types of foods that are really high in fiber and nutrient dense, because that's going to really help our longevity and promote health.
Okay. So fiber, talk to us a little bit about fiber, because fiber and pre and probiotics, greens, powder, things of that nature seems to be out there right now. People do discuss it a lot, and I hear it. So talk to us a little bit about fiber, both of you.
Well, fiber you can get in many different sources. And it's extremely important for reducing cholesterol, for one, increasing healthy, your GI tract. It's important for GI health. So you want to make sure you're getting enough fiber a day. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the average female should be getting around 25 grams of fiber a day. An average male is probably in the 35 grams of fiber a day. So I think an average person on a regular basis maybe in the 12-gram range.
Definitely.
So we're really undershooting our fiber intake, which is why we have so much gut-related issues, and why a lot of us are really unhealthy.
So in reality then, if we're taking in more fiber, we should also be taking in more hydration then, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And I think that we get back to the concept then, Nita, of deep nutrition. What is that concept? What does that mean?
Deep nutrition comes from eating whole foods with all of the nutrients that are combined in there. If you take a vitamin C pill, you get vitamin C. If you eat that orange, you get vitamin C and all the phytochemicals, the fiber. They haven't figured out all the things that's in there. So it's really important to just eat the whole foods and eat a variety, because that's where your deep nutrition and fiber come from.
I see.
Yep. And the refined foods, you pick up something that's white flour or white sugar that has very little fiber in it. It's because it's been refined away.
Right.
One thing I would like to add on is supplementation is really huge in our society nowadays too, because we have all these fitness professionals promoting supplement companies and stuff. And I think they're forgetting the big picture. Supplementation is just that. It supplements a whole food diet. And that's what people really need to catch on, is the whole foods. And that's the approach that needs to be taken. Well,
and I think that the one thing I hear also a lot of people do is they actually cut back on eating in order to diet. And so in other words, I've even heard of people skipping 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
Is that healthy?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay, you're both shaking your heads. No.
You got to put gas in the tank if you want your motor to run.
There you go. That's very true. So that's one of the things I do here, and I just want to let everybody know, just eat the right foods. You get your greens and your also your fruits, things of that nature. And that fuels our body as well, along with the nutritious proteins of the meats that we do take in and things of that nature. the question that was here is, what approach can our viewers take to incorporate deep nutrition? We're talking about, incorporating and getting back to regular foods, the basics. We used to come out and we would garden. We would actually, put gardens out there for food. And it almost seems like after all of these years, we've gotten away from that, and we forget. I think our kids even forget, where these foods come from. But that's taking that back. See if we can capture it back again. So, what can our viewers expect by following this advice then that you're giving?
Well, I'd like to see people getting back to their kitchen a little bit more. I know everybody's so busy, and I know that you can plan time, though, in the kitchen, like on Sundays or maybe a day after work to plan ahead some of your meals. The other thing is look at convenience foods that are more healthy. For instance, the salads that come organic greens.
Right.
You could get those. You could put together a salad in 5 minutes by having things that are already cut up, but they're fresh, they're organic, and they're clean. There's a list of foods on that you can find out, the clean foods and the dirty dozen.
Right.
So you don't have to buy everything organic, but there are a few that are helpful to buy organic.
I see.
For
That's
sure.
good. So explain to us the importance of proteins, carbs, and fats in our diet.
Well, that's what we call our macronutrients. That's the basis of our diet. So carbs are anything that starts your sugar. It's basically all broken down into sugar. But the more whole it is, whole grains, the longer it takes that sugar to break down. So people will feel satisfied a lot longer if they go towards the whole grains.
Okay.
Your protein is all from your meats and dairies. You want to, I personally can't do dairy very well, so I do some alternates.
Right.
But the lean meats, try to get responsibly raised meats also. Look at what you're buying and eat less. Eat less of a portion of meats.
Meat.
Half your plate should be vegetables and a little fruit. Quarter of it should be your meat, and maybe a quarter of it your whole grains.
That's good advice. So what is the best diet for fat loss? Or is there such a diet out there? Because there's so many.
Eat whole foods.
Eat whole foods.
Yeah, I really don't think there is such a diet. I really think it's about whole food nutrition and really making sure you're getting your macronutrients and your micronutrients in, and that's really important. And I think that's why Looking Good Cottonwood is such a great program, is because we dive into those subjects, and we have people, professionals like Nita here, coming in and talking to us about educating us about these things, and it's just so important and really helps you. It impacts your life, really, and if you let it can.
So we're looking at today's January 6th, and tomorrow's January 7th. And Nita, you have a program tomorrow, right? At the Cottonwood Recreation Center, Looking Good Cottonwood. That kind of starts the program off.
Our weigh-in is tomorrow, the initial weigh-in is tomorrow, and Nita's going to be doing a seminar January 13th.
Okay.
And that's going on 5:30 to 6:30 at the Cottonwood Recreation Center in the Cottonwood room. So come on down. It's open to the public.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it then.
Yeah.
I mean, in that aspect of things, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take another break and before we get to our third segment. And I'd like to thank you again for joining us for Looking Good Cottonwood. Join us as we talk to Nita and Trevor a little bit more about nutrition and Looking Good Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood.
At Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, rather than do lots of things, we focus on doing one thing right. We serve climate-challenged people. Gettle's starts with a free system evaluation to identify the best AC and heating equipment for your home or business. Professional installation, warranties, and service after the sale. If you're climate-challenged, then we're the right choice. Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, the name to trust.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us with Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. With me are Nita, Marlette, and Trevor Faust, and we're talking nutrition. We're talking January, trying to get back on track, losing the weight that we've gained over the holidays. And as we're talking about this, one of the things that I've found that I'm doing is I have a lot of cravings throughout the day, and I think I wanted to transfer over to Trevor and to Nita about that. What is that, and why do we get those, and how do we stop that from happening?
Yeah, so we're coming back to deep nutrition and how that impacts your health, and how it makes you feel more satisfied. And Nita, I'll let you kind of explain more of the science behind what I'm talking about, as far as how those nutrients kind of curb cravings and stuff.
Right, kind of getting back to food is medicine again, food first. So if you're eating foods, a variety of foods every day, from vegetables, all food groups, we're not going to leave any out particularly, unless you're sensitive to one or another, but create a good variety so you are getting the vitamins, minerals, micronutrients, antioxidants. If you're getting all those things, your cells, first of all, are going to have what they need to create all of your good energy and operate your body like it should. And your cravings will most likely go away after a while. I mean, it takes a little while. You have to get yourself off of sugar, maybe off of caffeine, off of that little glass of wine or whatever. Reduce maybe some salt. Salt is not as big of an issue as sugar is, though. And I'll tell you, if you go 3 or 4 days without any sugar or packaged sort of foods and just eat from these foods, you start noticing, I'm feeling different, and you will feel more satisfied because your body's getting what it needs.
I see. That's good knowledge, and it's good information to know and throw out there to people, because that's one of the things I think people really, they get a craving and they go right to the fridge.
Yes.
And they pull something out that's just high in either fat or carbohydrates, sweets.
Yes.
And
we're so used to eating that, and I think your body sends us a signal saying, I'm not done yet, I'm not done, because they haven't got the nutrients that they needed. So it's kind of those cravings, I think that's where they stem from.
Okay.
And with variety of eating different types of foods, you can really hopefully curb all those eventually.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It's great.
And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a little while.
It does. It really does. And it takes some time for your body to all of a sudden readjust again and get back into that lifestyle. And that's what I'm going to have to retrain myself again after being off of it for almost 2 months.
Yes.
So I'll be getting back into this. This does look very delicious. So Nita, we're going to be seeing you then on January 13th at the Cottonwood Recreation Center. So please come down and listen to Nita. She is a registered dietitian with Verde Valley Medical Center, and we'll be having a lot of those folks that will be providing program information, as well as mainly associated with health, nutrition, diet, and things of that nature that can help you out if you join into this program also, and come down to the Cottonwood Recreation Center. And we'll get into that right now as Looking Good Cottonwood. Trevor, can you tell us a little bit about Looking Good Cottonwood, what it is?
Of course. Right. First, I want to thank Verde Valley Medical Center, Northern Arizona Healthcare, for their support. We couldn't do this program without them, and they're just a vital part of what we're doing. Looking Good Cottonwood is a weight loss competition. It includes prizes, health education seminars, group exercise, and a whole lot more, It's a great program. But really, the program is about health and wellness, and that's really it's about education, and that's really what I want to get to. That's my passion, so... yeah.
That's it. That's Looking Good Cottonwood, then wrapped up for the next 4 months. Is a lot of education, a lot of help and assistance, and working with Trevor and people like Nita, and getting the understanding of whole foods and as well as exercise, combining everything, and getting the best out of life we can get. And like the two of you, you can see the passion as it's written all over both your faces. To be honest with you, when we talk about this, you both light up, and it's really neat to see that there are people interested in others' well-being out there, and I want to thank you both for that. And Verde Valley Medical Center, again, like you said, it's just incredible. So with their help and assistance. Now, Trevor, what is the difference between weight loss and fat loss?
Well, a lot of people start out when they want to lose weight is they reduce their calories, and by a lot. They restrict caloric intake, and they don't exercise. So they do it all through dietary restrictions. And what this does is you lose weight. The weight that you lose is kind of from everywhere. You lose muscle, fat, and water or fluids, and all those things. We really don't want to lose all those things. We really want to focus on fat. That's really what we want to look at. So the difference between the two is, one, you're losing a lot more than you should, and the other, you're really targeting fat, and that's the bad guy. The muscle and the water, that's the good stuff. We want to maintain that stuff, and we can do that through exercise, hydration, and of course nutrition. So and exercise. Mm-hmm.
So what's new this year with LGC?
Well, this year we have the LGC Fat Loss Guide, which is a comprehensive program that I have designed for the program. It includes exercise and nutrition strategies for fat loss.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that'll be a big help as we go into the program a little bit more and get a little bit more understanding of that. So what can participants expect by following this program that you've outlined?
Participants can expect to start feeling better. They can start feeling more energy in their lives, more confidence as they start to lose the weight, and just general improving well-being. Mm-hmm. Improve lean muscle tissue, which is going to increase your metabolism, burning that body fat, and all these things are going to help with just your health. So
as we look at, when does Looking Good Cottonwood start, and then when does it end? And kind of give us a background of the program itself. And
starts Wednesday, January 7th.
All right.
And weigh-ins are from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. at night. I'll be there all day.
All right.
Looking forward to meeting people. And it ends, it's about 13 weeks long. It ends April 8th, and Wednesday, April 8th.
So is that why you look really tired after April? Because you've been working 12 to 14-hour days, and you're just dealing with people constantly. So it's a big program. Trevor does an incredible job for the city.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying the city of Cottonwood. I'm talking about the citizens of the city and what he does and his passion. How long has this program been running?
It's been running now. This will be our 5th year. So a total of 4 years. Coming up on 5.
And the medical center, Verde Valley Medical Center, has been helping us all of those years.
The entire time.
Yes, they are incredible folks. And then I think that, let me ask you this question as well. What made you pursue, this lifestyle, as you've got as your career?
Well, it's a great question. About 6-7 years ago now, I started working for the city, and I was a facility maintenance guy, and I was like any other maintenance guy, I'd eat out a lot, you don't have time, you're working hard, you're out there shoveling dirt out of ditches, you want food fast because you're hungry, so where do you go? You go get some pizza, and have some soda, and so that's where I was at, and I started getting interested in fire science, and I went and did the fire academy, and I started to get conscious about my weight and how that affected my health and my abilities to save people's lives. And if I wasn't fit, how could I save people?
Right.
And that is really what kind of drove my passion for fitness. And when I realized, wow, this is something I really love, I pursued it, you know, with my education, and that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And here I am today, and you know, just continuing my passion.
I think
through
that's
this
kind
program.
of the same thing as what Nita had just indicated at the very beginning is, you know, her passion going back to school for 5 years and, you know, understanding, you know, diet and nutrition and how it affects people and in general and how you help people, you know, and you know, it's amazing how we affect others, and it's really a neat thing. And I think that LGC, Looking Good Cottonwood, is an incredibly I think it's an incredible program that our city has launched. I think other cities are starting to see what we're doing here as well, and they're emulating what we're doing here, what Trevor and what Nita and everybody are doing here as a comprehensive health program to sustain you out there. So if you would like to get in touch with us at the City of Cottonwood, Parks and Recreation, it's our recreation center. You can call them. You can get on board with us at 928-639-3200 to get more information on Looking Good Cottonwood and how you can be involved in your own life and remaking your life and being a healthy individual and aggressively pursuing that. And that's one of the things these two people are, you know, really passionate about. You can see it and feel it. And so I commend them both. Thank you both for being on our show today. And again, thank you for joining us for looking our Inside Cottonwood and what we're going to be doing with Looking Good Cottonwood. And again, thank you for your participation each week with all of what we do with Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood, and Happy New Year to you all.